Coming up on the movie film show today, we've got a trailer for a brand new Edgar Wright film, as well as a trailer for a brand new M. Night Shyamalan movie. We've also got news about new Marvel projects, and on top of that, we've got some good news for subscribers to Amazon Prime Video, as well as a whole host of other movie news and trailers. But without any further ado, let's jump in. You know who's a bag of bastards? Marvel. Why do I say that? Because last week I went and I recorded the movie film show, put all the trailers in it, all the movie news, and I went away happy as Larry. Went off, said, that's the show done, nice, perfect. It was set to go up the next day on Monday. And I went off to work, did my normal 9 to 5 job, well, like 8 to 4 job, and I said, that's fine, the upload is there, all up to date, latest movie news, latest trailers, fantastic. 2 hours before the movie film show went up last week, Marvel dropped the trailer for Eternals. 2 hours before it. Why couldn't they release it the day before? If they released it the day before, we would have featured it on last week's show. But enough about that rant. Here's the trailer for Eternals.
We have watched, unguided. We have helped them progress and seen them accomplish wonders. Throughout the years, we have never interfered until now. Said goodbye.
So yes, we're a week late and more than $1 short. We finally get a look at Eternals. And Eternals is an interesting project for me because I don't know too much about the heroes involved. It looks like it's got a pretty good cast. I didn't know Angelina Jolie was involved at all until the teaser trailer that came out not too long ago. And I'm certainly excited to see her role within the MCU. But I can't say I'm too excited based on this trailer. Now, I've said it many times in movie film shows in the past that maybe I'm just worn out of the MCU and I need something different from superheroes, and you could argue this looks certainly different, but it certainly looks more Captain Marvel than one of the good ones. But I'm going to give it the benefit of doubt. If cinemas are open and, you know, I've been vaccinated, I'll probably go to the cinema to see this one because MCU films tend to be pretty awesome in the cinema. But Eternals, for me, I'm not too hyped for it, but I'd love to know your thoughts on the trailers for Eternals. Is it a movie you're excited for? One thing I am excited for from MCU, from Marvel, is Loki, and that comes out next week. Not too long to go, 9th of June I think it is. Sticking with Marvel, Marvel have a project called Secret Invasion. And a few weeks ago on the movie film show, I shared the news that Emilia Clarke and Olivia Colman have both joined that project. Well, now Christopher McDonald has also joined that project, who you may know as Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. He was also in stuff like Thelma and Louise, but I mostly remember him from Happy Gilmore being the villainous golf player. But now he's joined a Marvel project called Secret Invasion. Another man who's been cast in a Marvel project is Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who you may remember as Kick-Ass, or more prevalently here as Quicksilver in the MCU. The real Quicksilver, not the fake one they had in WandaVision. Well, he's joined a new Marvel project, but it's a Sony Marvel project, because he's going to play Kraven the Hunter in a Sony Marvel movie, which I believe, I'm not too sure, I think it's going to be a standalone Kraven the Hunter movie in a similar vein to Venom, because Kraven the Hunter is a villain of Spider-Man, and obviously Venom is from the Spider-Man universe and he got his own standalone movie. That worked out pretty well. I'm pretty hyped for his second one. So hopefully Kraven the Hunter could be something pretty cool as well. It will be interesting to see if Kraven the Hunter is integrated into the MCU somehow, because Aaron Taylor-Johnson's already played a character in the MCU. There is talk that he might appear in the next Spider-Man movie. You know, they're talking about the whole Spider-Verse thing. Within the next Spider-Man movie, there's talk of all the previous Spider-Men and previous villains coming back. So maybe Kraven the Hunter will get his first appearance in that movie. It's certainly a project to keep an eye on. Now it's time for one of my great transitions. Marvel are owned by Disney, and Disney have a new movie starring The Rock, which just released a new trailer, and here it is.
My name is Dr. Lily Houghton. My brother and I are looking for passage upriver.
What's out there in the jungle? It's not a fun vacation.
Well, I'm not here for a vacation.
Legend has it that there is a tree that possesses unparalleled healing power. It will change medicine forever.
And you need someone to help you find it. Here we go.
Sometimes it just needs a bit of a...
Nobody touches my engine but me. What did I just...
There you go.
Jungle Cruise has been in the works for so long. The first trailer seemed to come out so long ago. I'm not sure if I have any interest in it at all whatsoever. But a film I am very interested in after watching the trailer just this week is Landscape.
There are people in this world who will try to make you believe that they are better than you. Rage is a tool we use to prove them wrong. I don't question the choices I make.
We've got a paper trail of laundered money going in and out of Geneva.
When you lose your character, you lose everything. Remember that.
Never let your emotions dictate your actions.
I'm an angel with a dirty face.
Is that what you tell yourself so you can sleep at night?
I don't have to tell myself anything when I go to sleep at night. It's the way we live. It's business.
Sam Worthington, Harvey Keitel, a gangster type movie, which we haven't had in a long time. We haven't had a good gangster movie in a long time. This one's got a lot of potential, and it looks pretty good from the trailer, in my opinion. There will be a link to the full trailer in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. I'd highly recommend doing so because it looks like it's going to be a damn good movie. Speaking of a very interesting movie trailer, a new trailer dropped for a brand new, I say new a lot, a brand new M. Night Shyamalan movie, so you know there's going to be a good twist in here. Here's the trailer for All.
What happened to her, Mom?
I don't know. What happened to her? Her body has decomposed.
How quickly can that happen?
7 years.
But she just died.
Wait, where are the kids?
Trent!
Kara!
Come here!
Hey, have you seen my children?
Mom? I'm right here.
Now, to me, this trailer has an interesting concept and a stupid concept. Now, M. Night Shyamalan is known for some interesting ideas with horror movies. The Happening in particular comes to mind, and we'll have a video about that one very shortly on the channel. From the trailer, what I've gathered is there's people who go on holiday and they end up on this beach, and then they find a dead person, and then that person deteriorates, and then slowly the people on the beach begin to age rapidly. When you watch the full trailer, which is linked in the description below, it kind of hints that the older people who go to the island ended up disappearing, and we're left with two main characters. That's why it's surmised from the trailer. They start out as kids, they grow up within like an hour of the movie, and I guess they have to find a way to stop the aging process or figure out what's happening to them. There's probably going to be some twist, like they see dead people or they were never there. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. He's already done the twist of there not being a twist, so there has to be a twist this time. My guess is it's Bruce Willis's fault. Why not? It was a pretty big week for trailers. There was a lot of trailers, and one which I was interested to see because the teaser trailer gave nothing away about this movie. A trailer for The Tomorrow War came out this week, and here's what it looks like.
1 minute to jump.
Oh, here, buddy. Take that. You just look around like that.
How are you so calm?
Long story.
Yeah, ex-military?
Yeah. Kind of a short story, I guess.
3, 2, 1.
In 11 months' time, all human beings in the future will be wiped from the face of the earth. Unless you help us.
So when the teaser trailer dropped for this movie, I said it looks interesting. It seems to be a case that people are being drafted from the future, from the past, to fight a war in the future against an alien race who are trying to wipe out the planet. It doesn't seem amazing. I'm not super hyped from the trailer. Chris Pratt's in there, he can be pretty funny. From this trailer, you can see they tried to put more comedic elements in it. It's still a serious movie, but you know, they try to throw some jokes in there. Make what you will of them from the trailer. The idea is interesting, but I fully expect with this type of movie where they're messing with time, that there's going to be a time loop issue where we look back on it in the review and go, that doesn't make sense, because if you did that, then this wouldn't happen, because that always happens with these type of movies. If you haven't seen my video on Looper of how that doesn't make sense, go check that out, because that'll mess with your head, because you keep going through the loop and you're like, well, this wouldn't happen and that wouldn't happen, and you know, all that type of stuff tends to happen in these cheaper, quicker to produce, time-based movies. Now, I do appreciate the fact that someone out there is trying to make an original sci-fi movie, and maybe I'm going to be completely wrong and this is going to be one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. But from the trailer, it already looks a bit Although what I will say is this one shot from the trailer in particular, hopefully it's on screen now, shows there's some promise in there from the sci-fi aspect. Although maybe it'll just be terrible CGI. I'm sure we'll find out in a not too distant future. That movie is an Amazon Prime exclusive. Speaking of Amazon, there was some big movie news this week that Amazon have bought MGM. MGM, one of the biggest, longest running studios that own titles like James Bond and Rocky. They've also did Fargo, I think Legally Blonde, that was an MGM movie. They've done a ton of the best movies you've ever seen. I realise I'm now saying Legally Blonde, one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's definitely a cult classic for what it is. But MGM have made some sensational movies down the years, and now Amazon owns all of them. They paid over $8 billion. $8 billion, that's an amount of money I could never even fathom. Like, I don't even know what that looks like. I just assume it's a football stadium filled with money. That's what they had to give MGM for their content. But effectively what this means is that Amazon now own all the MGM titles exclusively. So more than likely, in the not too distant future, all of those MGM titles are going to be coming to Amazon Prime Video exclusively. At least that's what you assume that would mean. In the same way that Disney own all the Fox stuff, and the Star Wars stuff, Marvel stuff, all the other stuff, everything. So your Amazon Prime Video subscription, you might be getting a little bit more value for your money with that subscription in the not too distant future. That about does it for this week's Movie Film Show. There's one trailer left to go. We're gonna finish on that one. And it's from a filmmaker who's one of my favorite filmmakers. If you haven't seen my countdown of the 100 greatest ever movies, you need to check that out and see how many Edgar Wright movies are in it. He's a damn good filmmaker. And he seems to go from strength to strength to strength. Baby Driver was fantastic, Kevin Spacey aside. Shaun the Dead, iconic. But now Edgar Wright has a new movie called Last Night in Soho. And it certainly looks interesting. It's got unique style to it. There's a song playing throughout the trailer, which integrates really well in the trailer. It's a very well made trailer, but it seems to hint at music being a big aspect of the movie again, similar to Baby Driver, not perhaps in the same way. The lead character's gonna be listening to music all the time, but music can be a driving force in some of those movies, and Edgar Wright is very good at using music within his movies to help drive the story forward and certainly the pacing forward. I think the opening scene of Baby Driver is one of the best we've seen in the last 20 years. The way it's choreographed and everything is fantastic. And Edgar Wright, he's still very young, and I think he's just gonna go from strength to strength to strength with his filmmaking. He's already made some damn good movies. So it'd be interesting to see what he does come up with. At the same time, he's gonna slip up at some point. He's gonna make a stinker here or there. Maybe Last Night in Soho will be that. Let me know your thoughts on Last Night in Soho in the comment section below. I'd love to talk to you about this movie in depth. But that's all we've got time for this week on the Movie Film Show. If you enjoyed today's video, I would greatly appreciate if you either shared it with someone who loves movies or films, to help our little channel grow. We've just hit 230 subscribers at the time of recording, which is pretty damn cool. Hopefully, someday, in the not too distant future, we might get to 235. It's a big ask, I know, but maybe we'll get there someday. And with your help, if you help share this, or even subscribe if you're not subscribed already, we can hit that major milestone. But with all that said, let's jump in to the trailer for Last Night in Soho.
You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go down.